We're continuing the old school YouTube trend, and today I'm doing a monthly favourites video. I did monthly favourites videos for probably like a good 12 years. Every single month. They were like the bread and butter of this channel, and you know what, I personally like love watching them and I love making them, and I feel like they're very podcasty. Like, you don't necessarily need to be watching this. Like, you can just stick this on, tuck your phone in your bra, do the hoovering, whatever it is that you need to do. Put it on whilst you're doing some cooking, and you can just hear me talk about my favourites. I thought today I've kind of tried to make a master list from January and February, and if you like this is something I can do more frequently. I've tried to do beauty, like skincare, makeup, other bits and bobs, also style, and like lifestyle bits as well, what TV shows I'm watching, what books I'm reading, workouts, recipes, all that kind of thing. It's gonna be bumper, it's gonna be long, but we like a long video these days, we do. So sit down with me whilst I go through my notes app. I've been working on this for the last couple of weeks and just like adding whilst I remembered things. Starting off, beauty. I've written skincare routine reference videos. To be honest with you, did I need to sit here before I started filming this video and start squeezing this spot? No, that was a bad idea. That was a really bad idea. But overall, my skin is improving. We're on the up. Things are going in the right direction. I'd say the dermatitis is like gone for now, which is wonderful. It's just a little bit of like redness, kind of a bit of a hangover from it, and a few blemishes here. I'm due on my period, that's gonna happen. The psoriasis, it's not looking too bad. Like overall, it's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna reference two videos. The first one has my morning skincare routine. I'll link that in the corner for you. Nothing crazy, all very ceramide repairing based. So I'll link that in the corner for you. And the second one was one of my more recent videos, and that was sharing my evening skincare routine. Again, like even more simple than the morning one. They're linked up there for you, but like just that the skincare routine is doing its thing. Like I mentioned in that evening skincare routine, it's doing its thing along with everything else I'm doing, which is like having blood work done and then taking the recommended supplements and like reducing sugar in my diet and eating more greens in my diet and like so many things, exercise, trying to have less stress in my life. There's such a knock-on effect of so many different things, but skincare wise, it feels like we're going in the right direction, which is good. And also something I completely forgot to mention in those videos were my LED masks. I've got two here. I switched between the two. This one is Current Body and this one is Beauty Pie. There you go. Very, very similar. It's so funny. My friends who I've known for like over 30 years, some of them now, it's so funny the things that they ask me about. It's really interesting to see like how trends change like over the years. They're always asking about like mascara and hand creams. Like, oh, have you got any new mascaras? Have you got any new hand creams? And now they're like, Anna, LED masks, what do I do? So many of them are like putting them on their birthday list, putting them on their Christmas list. The Current Body one is far more expensive than the Beauty Pie. I have a feeling this one is £279, I want to say, and I think this is £99. So there's a big price difference in them. This does have less LEDs, but not significantly less. Do you know what I mean? Like the price is still, this one is better value for the amount of LED lights that are inside. I mean, not that you can really see them here, but I remember checking it online. I was like, what are the differences between them? It still has a shed load of LEDs. It's just a lot cheaper. What have I dropped on the floor? Who knows? But I can vouch for the Current Body because I've had this for like years at this point. I probably had this for about 2 years. So I can vouch for the like longevity of this, where I haven't used this for as long. So both incredible. If you can get your hands on this one for like £99, I 100% would. I feel like most skincare professionals that you talk to or that I've personally talked to have been like, have an LED mask at home, like, is it worth using it? And they're like, oh, if you've got one, absolutely. So we love that. And there was one other skincare favorite. Now I'm mentioning it, I feel like I maybe did mention it in the last video, but the Revitalash Advanced Sensitive Eyelash Conditioner. Not cheap, however, it works. Let me like zoom you in. Like these are my natural eyelashes. I've just given them a curl. It makes them grow, and I feel like it makes them denser as well. I feel like I've literally got more eyelashes on my eyelid. I haven't had any problems with sensitivity or anything with this one. I have with the normal one. The normal one gives me pink eye, the sensitive version, completely fine. I feel like this is one of those things that you just see and you're like, does that work? I think it does, personally. It's really worked well for me. I also have two body care favorites. The Glossier deodorant. I cannot say enough good things about this, and I feel Like I never hear anyone else talk about this, but I've been using this since launch, which I think was probably like this time last year. I've used it for a solid year and I've probably only bought maybe 3 refills. I've probably only like gone through 3 of them. So each one lasts me 4 months. It's definitely not as cheap as my good old Mitchen that I was using before, but it doesn't have aluminium in it and I feel like it is less aggravating and drying on my armpits. It's so funny to talk about like the skin under your armpits, but genuinely this makes it really smooth. Like I feel like my underarms are really smooth. And whenever I actually did use the Mitchen once last summer because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get really hot and sweaty today and I really like don't want to sweat. And it just like really messed up my armpits. I don't know, they were really like dry and itchy and irritated. This feels like skincare for your underarms. It's not an antiperspirant, so it's not gonna stop you sweating, but it is gonna stop you stinking. And I didn't have any weird transition to this either. It didn't like take me weeks of smelling funky for this to kind of kick in. I kind of started using it straight away and hope for the best. Honestly, why are not more people talking about it? I've got the, I think I've got the red one, yes. I've got the U refill in at the moment, but I've just bought the unscented ones, trying to go a bit more like unscented with body things because of my psoriasis. So yeah, I've gone for the unscented version, but I do like U and I do like, is it Sandstone? That's a really nice one as well. This hand cream, L'Occitane just sent me this hand cream and it reminded me that it is the best darn hand cream. I know if you have a TikTok account, you've seen people do the like, that is how thick it is. Well, look at that. It is thick. It is thick, all in capital letters, like so thick. But my favorite hand cream is this one, or if you don't want something that is as thick, the Kiehl's one, the Kiehl's like high strength ultra salve or something. Mark really loves it. It's always been Mark's favorite, and whenever I'm like, oh, can I have a little bit? And then I bought my own one and I was like, oh, actually this is really nice, and just kept it by my bed, so I was using it before bed every night. I do think a good hand cream, a good cuticle oil, if you can be asked. Actually, let me show you the cuticle oil that I use. It's this one from Essie, the Apricot Nail and Cuticle Oil. It looks like nail polish, but it's oil. I haven't been as good with it this month, but back in January, I was religious with it, and every single night I'd do my hand cream, I'd put on my cuticle oil, and then when I got to go get my nails done, my nail lady Sophie was like, have you been using cuticle oil? I said, yes. She said, I can tell. She was like, your cuticles look really like nourished and healthy. I was like, ah. So yeah, a great combination. This is a classic, and thank you L'Occitane for sending it to me and reminding me that it is just like this. The Kiehl's one, both a little bit pricey, but you need the teeny tiniest amount and they last me forever. My haircut, guys, I've had my haircut. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It is still long. It's like more than long enough for me. But I had a good, what's that? A good like 3 inches, maybe a little bit more, taken off last week, and I just feel lighter. I feel like my hair isn't taking as long to style and wash, all of the above. So happy with it. I go to Roxy at Hair Bros. She's amazing. She is just so good. People are like, what do you ask for when you get your hair cut? I kind of just say to her, like, what do you think? I give her a guide on length. I kind of pointed, I was like, above nipple, like still long, but you know, not as long as it is right now. So she kind of did the length, and then she was like, oh, do you like having a few bits around the face? And I was like, yes, I do. So I've got some kind of chin length. I think she's done a few bits. No, they're all sort of chin length. So that if I had it up and wanted a few bits like out the front, there'd be a few bits at the front if I wanted, but I can still put them behind my ears and like just about fit them into a ponytail if I wanted to. So it's very practical for me. I think she also did, yeah, there's like a few shorter bits in there. She did a few shorter layers. She just doesn't really use like scissors. Like very rarely are like scissors used like that in my hair. It's all very kind of feathered, and I think she's using, what's it called? The scissors that are used to like get thickness out of hair, thinning scissors. I think she uses those a lot. She's using a razor a lot. Like it's all just very au natural. Basically, there's none of that in my hair, which is what I like. And I think it's a dry cut. So you wash your hair in the morning and then you just let it air dry. And so they're kind of cutting with your natural texture and your natural shape, and yeah, she's just able to get a bit more. I think it looks thicker. I think it's shorter, but it looks like I have more hair on my head, and I'm able to get, I don't know, a little bit more curl into it today. And this is like not air dried, but with the diffuser today. And I'm like, yeah, I really like how that looks. So super, super, super happy with that. Oh, my makeup bag. I don't know, I feel like I probably mentioned this quite a lot anyway, but I do think the Space NK, I love the color of this. I love the size of this. I feel like I talk about it all the time, but I'm like, it's a monthly favorite. And if we're gonna start these, I feel like this needs to be mentioned somewhere. I like that it has gold detailing. There's nothing fancy inside. There's no pockets or anything like that, but it's easy enough to kind of fit everything you need in. It's got this at the side, so nothing is gonna fall out as you're trying to put it all back in. I like that the branding is very subtle. Yeah, it's just the perfect everyday makeup pouch for me. Okay, next favorite, I'm applying it now. The NARS Tinted Moisturizer. I mean, I'm going through this. It is well loved. I use it in the shade Alaska Light 2. I feel like it probably is more of my summer color, but also I'm not mad about that. I'm okay with that. I've just applied less than a pea size amount, more like a grain of rice and a half, a really, really, really small amount all over. And I feel like it just evens, brightens. Like I could happily be like, no, I'm done, like nothing else on my face now. And like the areas of redness that I had here, it just sort of, I don't know, it evens it out in that some days I don't feel the need to pop concealer over this. I'm just like, I like my skin to look like skin. And I feel like the NARS Tinted Moisturizer has a really good, oh, it's like creamy, and the way that the pigment is in this, you can never see it on the skin. Like it just doesn't feel like you can tell that I have makeup on. That's my aim. If you saw my makeup collection video, I'll link that in the corner for you. You'll see I kind of got rid of all my foundation-y foundations. Like I don't want to look like I have foundation on. I've got the Armani Luminous Silk, and I'm like, that is my one kind of, it's not even heavy though. That's almost my event foundation. My like, right, I really want to smooth everything out. But aside from that, I've just gone for my tinted moisturizers, my sheer foundations. Like I want things to look like nothing-y on the face. It's so good. If you haven't tried it, not super pricey, like not the most expensive foundation they do. Oh, SPF 30 as well. Like for me, this is like a non-negotiable in my routine. Okay, we fast forwarded a little bit. What I'll do is what I used to do back in the day. I will write the rest of the makeup that I applied in the description box down below. But Brow Freeze, Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze is now in a tube. Hooray! I feel like this is what we've all been waiting for. Any kind of brow person that I have met loves the original in the tub and would always try and convert me and would show me how to use it and be like, right, okay, you just need a little spoolie. That for me, as an everyday product, is never gonna happen. I mean, all you did need was a spoolie. No, it was never gonna happen. It just felt kind of messy. Oh no, it just wasn't for me. However, the Brow Freeze in the tube has now surpassed Patrick Tar, which you guys know is big news because I've used the Patrick Tar for years since that launch. That's a good like 2-3 years of using that. I've used it religiously, like the only brow product that I've used in the last 2-3 years. It always was going out of stock, so I'd buy like 3 at a time, so I'd never miss out. But no, this is so much better. Reasons why it's better, I think it's the same strength. My brows are very thick and therefore very heavy, but this is strong. Like this is really, really strong. Like this keeps my brows in position, even if I'm taking clothes on and off. Like I rarely get to the end of the day and you know, sometimes you've like taken off a jumper or something and that brow is like a bit skew whiff. I don't find that. With this, I find that it really does pin the brows into place, keeps them there all day. I don't find any issues with build up. I mean, I wouldn't reapply product over the top. With these brow products, once you've applied them and you've put them on, that's it. Like, no moving them around for the rest of the day. I wouldn't top up this brow product, but you wouldn't need to because they're probably gonna stay in place anyway, practically all of the time. But the reason why this wins is the Patrick Tar. If you ever caught the product at all or kind of like wiped your face and accidentally wiped your brow or like took your top off or whatever, I would find that it kind of balled up and it started to look like little tiny pieces of cling film in your brows. So it's a bit like the Refy product. The Refy product to me is a really great product, but there's a problem with just like too much product on your brows, and then you get these like weird white bits in your brows. I feel like this doesn't do either of those two things. So it's just a win in my book. I like that on the brush has a longer bristle side, which is personally how I like to apply it. So I use this side that's on the top, but you could use this side that has shorter bristles if you like really want to push the brows down onto your skin, which I'm not sure I really want to do. But yeah, I just absolutely love it. And then I've just been, if I can really be bothered, finishing the brows off with the Hourglass brow pencil just to fill in my little gap there, kind of little gap there. Fun. But yeah, it's good. It surpassed the Patrick Tar. This now lives in my Space & K makeup bag, also a fave. Can we also just take a moment for the Revitalash serum? Like my lashes with mascara never looked like this previously. Like this is definitely a Revitalash thing. Okay, on to style, and this was a really easy part of the process to put together because I take daily outfit selfies every day, Monday to Sunday, just every day, like basically no exceptions. So it was so easy to go through those and just be like, right, okay, what was I gravitating towards? What was I wearing a ton? And there's actually not a huge amount. There's only really like 4 things and then accessories. In fact, let's do accessories first because I do feel a bit naked. I think I mentioned that Midcentury sent me this chain, loving it. Like just a nice alternative if you're like me and you love their curved chain and that's basically what you wear every single day. This is just a nice alternative that breaks it up if you feel the need to mix it around. But 2 pairs I've really loved this month. I obviously love my Lie Studios earrings. These are the Camilles. I wear those all the time. I wear the Julie all the time. Like, these are 2 of my most worn pairs of earrings, but 2 new pairs entered the fray this month. These ones and these ones. These are from Midcentury and they are the sculptural hoops. Look a little something like that. You know what, I'll put them in for you, I'll try them on. I like that they're not just a classic hoop, like they've got a slight, I want to say bulge. The bulge in them is kind of interesting and a little bit different, and it looks different from the front to what it does on the side. Yeah, I feel like these are nice if you want to kind of entryway into a chunkier hoop or a more, these are called the sculptural hoops if you want like a more sculptural earring. I feel like these are a good starting point for that. Pairs beautifully with this necklace, I must say. Maybe I'll wear these today, but I do want to show you the other ones from Monsieur. I can't remember how much these were. I want to say they were under £150. Okay, the gold ones are 178. But I didn't have to pay any extra like fees or like crazy delivery or anything like that. It must come from like a UK warehouse or something because you don't get any extra fees on top of that. I also wanted to show you these from Monsieur. They sent these over this month. Pretty sure these are under £100. But these feel very, very Lie Studios for me, but they're like Lie Studios but half the price. So let me put these in for you. I almost think from the front, they're very similar to the Camille. I mean, guys, I've got so many like big, bold gold earrings, but they are true outfit makers for me. And I feel like they're becoming part of my personal style. Like I always wear a big, bold earring or a big, like bold necklace, like one of the two. I just feel like an earring is so easy to do. It feels really playful. But yeah, these definitely give me that Lie Studios flavor, but for a fraction of the price. And also I saw one of the PR girls from Monsieur last week and she was wearing the most, you know, it's like, you're like, oh my gosh, they're like exactly what I was looking for. And I was thinking, I really hope they're Monsieur, and they were. I'm not sure if they'll be out by the time this video goes up, but they're the most gorgeous, they're exactly what I was looking for, in that they're a vintage looking, almost not like a ridge or a cuff, that sounds kind of weird to say, but like kind of a small rectangular, well no, they're not small, they're quite big, but like a rectangular-y curve stud with a kind of textured pattern on the front. Really, really, really hard to explain, but it's one of those things that when you see it, you'll go, oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, I feel like Monsieur have always done bold really well, like they do big and bold really beautifully. I like my like dainty Midcentury and like, I mean, these are Midcentury and they're a little bit bolder, but I like the mix of the two. So yeah, I'm very excited when those come in, and I will be picking a pair up for sure. Okay, let's go quick fire on the style things, because like I said, I take photos every single day, so I have like pictures that I can just boom, put up on the screen. Number one, the Cézanne jeans. They're called the wide leg trousers, but they are jeans, they are denim. I'll put photos of me wearing them here on the screen. They have basically replaced my Levi's vintage 501s, the first pair that I ever bought, because I bought those like very early days, like postpartum, and they just don't fit me anymore. And they've also, I think I wore them over 50 times. They were like so baggy, and so the material had got really thin, and they just made me look like I was wearing a nappy. They're in my to sell pile. They served their purpose, they were great for me, but I was looking for a jean that was still wide leg and had that like relaxed fit to them, but maybe was just a little bit more fitted around the waist, and these are that for me. These are so good. They're out of stock, and I'm basically like begging Cézanne, I'm like, when are these coming back in? They're so good, we love them. Yeah, they've definitely become a favourite for me. I have lost count of the amount of times that I have worn the Uniqlo men's cashmere jumpers. I have them in the navy and the brown and the ivory, and yeah, there's probably a million photos I could pick to show you on the screen now of me wearing them. They're my perfect crew neck cashmere jumper. I feel like I've definitely maxed out that area of my wardrobe. Like, I've got an Arket men's, it's thinner, it's merino wool, but I've got that. I've also got my Arket men's like kind of grey mulled version. Like, I'm like, all those together, I'm good. I definitely don't need any more cashmere crew neck jumpers. But I think for the price, the quality of them is brilliant. I have washed mine multiple times in the washing machine. I do it on a hand wash, cool. And I also use like a special cashmere wool detergent. They're brilliant. So I have nothing but good things to say about them, and I wear them so often, I'm surprised I'm not wearing one now. The Arket checkered coat. Oh, Arket checkered coat. This came into my wardrobe like late last year. They sent it to me, and I don't know, I was looking for something that broke up like the block colour of my coat wardrobe. Like, all my coats are just basically a straight block colour. You know, I've got a black, I've got a navy, I've got a camel, I've got a cream. Like, but I was like, let's get a bit of texture in here. Let's do a little checkered number. And again, the amount of times I'm like, yep, that. It's really nice if you're just wearing like something very basic, very casual underneath, or even dressed up, just to have a bit of texture. It definitely makes me think that when it comes to any coats that I buy in the future, I feel like I've got the basics covered, and I would like them to have a bit of texture, a bit of pattern. It can be neutral, that's fine, but yeah, not to be so blocky. Although, because of my colour analysis, maybe like a khaki, greeny coloured coat, trench, jacket somewhere in my future, who knows? Or like a maybe rich, like rust. Now I'm like making a list of exceptions. But yeah, just that having something in my wardrobe that is a coat, that isn't a block colour, has been something that I've reached for a lot. I'm really loving wearing the St. Agni bag as a winter bag. Like, it's still winter and this bag still works. I think this does, you know how it's like the wrong shoe theory? I think this is almost the wrong bag theory. You look at it, it's a woven leather, it's definitely more of a summer bag. But whenever I wear it, I'm like, oh, I love it with this outfit. I think it would work with like the heaviest of wool coats. I also have like a straw kind of raffia bag, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll crack that out as we get into spring. But this feels like a more subtle way of doing that kind of summery bag in a winter outfit. It fits in a laptop beautifully. The amount of times people are like, I love your Dragon Diffusion bag, and I'm like, honey, it is not Dragon Diffusion, it's St. Agni. I think it's cheaper than the Dragon Diffusion, and I just like the size of it. And I was talking to someone the other day, and they were like, I love my Dragon Diffusion bags, but they're all like a bit of a weird shape. And they were like, oh, I love like the size of that. And I was like, it's a perfect size for a day in London. I can fit my laptop, my bits and bobs, but also like a water bottle, some snacks. Fits in there perfectly, nothing gets lost. It's kind of nice and compact and well packed in a way. So yeah, very much loving the St. Agni bag. I think someone had asked me on Instagram about the straps. Do I find that the straps like kind of dig in? No, but I guess they would if you like didn't have any clothes on, you know what I mean? if you weren't wearing anything that was like a clothing barrier on your shoulder and it was quite heavy, I guess they would, but that's not something I've struggled with. They're not that thin. They're not like spaghetti thin. I think someone said, like, is it wearing well? Yeah, I've had it. Did I get it last summer? I have no regrets. I wish I bought it before. It's a great bag. Okay, on to general lifestyle favorites, and I've just put Hey You. Hey You cost me $4.99, and it is a very good $4.99 that I spend every single month. I haven't finished Real Housewives of New York, but I've got up to season 11, and it feels like it's on the decline. And I just got a bit bored of it. Do I need to continue with it? Do I need to finish? Because I did watch the new version of Roni, and I thought it was good, but then I watched Roni from the beginning and I was like, oh, okay, no, this is far superior as a product. But yeah, I got to season 11 and it's kind of like tailing off a bit. I don't feel as enthralled by it. I've kind of given up. And someone said to me, now you need to pick between New Jersey or Atlanta. I've gone with Atlanta. I'm 3 episodes in, we're watching Kim's country career take off. To me, a bit of reality TV before bed is just ultimate chill time. Middle-aged women shouting at each other before I go to bed that is my lullaby. But yeah, it's zone out time. Mark's watching his videos, I'm watching mine, and it's just like, that is true chill out time for me. So very much enjoying that. I'm very into my Epsom salt baths at the moment for my psoriasis, so I stick that on. I'm having my Epsom salt bath and I'm like, this for me is my de-stressing moment, you know, helping with the skin. It all goes into each other, it all works together. Okay, what books I've read? Let me get my Goodreads up because I've forgotten. I have to say, I don't feel like I've read any books recently that I'll be like, oh my goodness, you need to read this. Okay, these are the 4 books that I've read so far this year. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Yeah, this one's a bit of a psychological thriller. You're reading it, you're like, I'm getting bad vibes here. Something feels off. Something might be off. I don't want to like, you know, give spoilers or anything like that in this video. I gave it a 3. I was like into it. I remember like every night I was like, I'm interested in this. I'm definitely interested in it enough to keep reading it. But it wasn't a wow for me. You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. Again, I've given this a 3. Oh my gosh, I've given all of these books a 3, by the way. I'm just gonna go through them very quickly because I will say that all of these books I like, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, you need to read this. They feel a bit fillery book to me. Like, I feel like there's better out there for me. You and Me on Vacation. This one's like a rom-com-y, romantic, goes on for years, will they, won't they kind of situation. Yeah, a 3, it was okay. Okay, the next one was Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. I gave it a 3. Again, I'd say this is like a will they, won't they love story. Very like modern, you know, like it's funny because it's kind of based in university. And one of the characters has a podcast, like a radio. No, they have a radio show at university. It took me back to university days, but it's like if university was now. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it must be so different with social media. I bet everyone's vlogging. Everyone's vlogging their nights out. Like that wasn't a thing when we were at university. So yeah, it was kind of interesting to see the university experience now. Even if it was fictionalized. I gave it a 3, not bad, not great. And then I literally finished last night Come and Get It by Kylie Reid. I really loved her first one. I think that was called Such a Fun Age. I think I might maybe given that 4. But yeah, Come and Get It. I was like, again, looked forward to it in the evenings, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I can't put this down. This is based on a campus in America, again, at university. And it's interesting in the way that it's lots of different people's lives entwined, and the chapters are from like a different person's perspective. So I did like that, and I think that keeps you like entertained by the book. I will say I got to the end of the book and there was so many characters I still didn't really know 100% who was who. If anyone else has read this book, did you understand who Amy was? Because I got to the end and I was like, Amy. I'm still scratching my head over Amy and how she was related to Millie. Yeah, if you've read that book, I would like to know if you felt the same way. I'm thinking I'm gonna do, is it what's it called? Demon Copperhead, is that it? I think I might do that next. Let me know, should I? Someone said, oh, it's got so many ratings on Goodreads, oh my word. Someone said it's quite harrowing, but I feel like I've done a few like lighter reads. I'm ready for something that's a little bit meatier. So yeah, Demon Copperhead. I think that's gonna be my next read. Let me know if there's anything else you'd recommend. Okay, this is really random. Just talking a few lifestyle bits and then I will be out of your hair and done. Does anyone use a tongue scraper? I do use a tongue scraper, and you know what? It makes my mouth feel very fresh. It's kind of a random thing to include. But yeah, I just scrape my tongue, like scrape, every morning, every evening after I brush my teeth. Is that the correct way to do it? I'm not sure. And then I obviously like rinse it off, clean it up, and then every now and again I drop it into like boiling water as well, just sterilize it. But yeah, I just feel like my oral health is better for doing this, and it makes you feel a bit fresher. I feel like my breath is fresher as well since using this. So yeah, I feel like this is a very easy way to kind of feel that you're like doing something and you're doing something good for your oral hygiene. But it's very, very easy. It really doesn't add like much onto my routine. So I will link this down below for you, but I am a fan. Also, I will link my, what did I call it? Like caramel biscuit chocolate bar recipe. I'll link that down in the description box for you. I did a reel on it the other day. I found it online and I've just been making it so much since. It does have like, it's basically me trying to reduce my sugar intake, but still have things that are lower sugar options, but still like satisfying that sweet tooth for me. But this is like sweet, salty. It does still have maple syrup in it, but I'm pretty sure you could sub it out and it would still taste really nice. But yeah, it's basically like an almondy base with kind of I personally prefer it with cashew butter, but I think I made it with almond butter in the video. But you could do it with peanut butter, like a nut butter, kind of but caramelly. You make it kind of caramelly nut butter in the middle, and then you just drizzle it with whatever kind of chocolate you want and put a little bit of sea salt on the top. It's delicious. I will link that down below for you. And I've just written like my workout split. I have to say the last 2 weeks haven't, anyone who follows me on Peloton is gonna be like, girl, you've done nothing. As me doing my like 5-minute, I think one night Ralph was ill, and obviously I don't like love sickness. Who does? Like, it's just not very nice, is it, to deal with? And I had to do a 5-minute anxiety meditation in the morning on my Peloton at like 3 a.m. And then I was like, 1,000 people follow me on here. They're gonna be like, what is Anna doing in the wee hours of the morning? And it does, I will link that one down below actually, because if you're ever having, I don't know, I think now whenever my belly feels a bit funny, or obviously like Ralph is ill and I'm panicking about me being physically sick as well, like it's a really good mind calmer. I don't know, just in that moment when you just need to, you know, to take a couple of deep breaths and just like, whew, relax. It's one I've done a couple of times actually, so I will link that down below for you. But I feel very motivated. I'm recording this on a Monday and I'm like, right, this is the week that we get back onto it. Today I did a 20-minute spin, needed to wash my hair, so I was like, right, I need to do a sweaty thing today. But I'm gonna try and start doing 2 Reformer Pilates sessions a week. I was pretty good at getting 1 in a week, but I wanna try and get 2 in. I bought a like big bundle at local studio, so it works out a little bit cheaper for me to go there than it previously did. And I just think it's like a fun excuse to get out of the house, which when you work from home, you don't always do every day. So I'm gonna try and get 2 of those in. And then I really want to get in a leg session and an arm session, but do like a Peloton strength one. So I'm doing it at home, 20 minutes only, really like easy to kind of fit in. And I can just like do that before I get started for the day. So I feel like they're my non-negotiables, these like 4 workouts. And then I'm like, if around that I do a spin or I do a run, or to be fair, that's probably it. But that's sort of the split that I want. I want to be increasing my my like muscle strength as well as my cardiovascular fitness as well. And I feel like that's a good way of incorporating everything. So there you go. I'm gonna stop talking at you. Let me know your favorites of the month. Like, is there anything you've really been enjoying? Thank you so much for all of your comments on the video that I put live of my evening skincare routine and like kind of my current makeup routine. because yeah, there was so many of you that were like, I've been here for 10 years, or I've been here for 8 years, or I might not be able to watch every video, but I still really appreciate you uploading, and I like watch when I can. And it was really, really lovely. Just like such a reminder that we've got really lovely community on here. And yeah, I'm so back in the flow. I'm so back in the flow. Some people were like, can you do a what's in my bag? Is that like so old school? But also I can do it. Like if you want to see what's in my bag, like it might be quite funny to compare it. Oh, that might be an idea, to compare it to like the first one I ever uploaded. I can do a little comparison. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this favorites. I thoroughly enjoyed putting it together. I can restart the list. Like I can do this I can either do this monthly, or I could do this every 2 months. Maybe every 2 months would work better, maybe. Give me more of a chance to collect new things. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have had a good week, and I'll see you soon with a brand new video. Bye.